Hello everyone, this is Carol, and I'm here tonight to share a project with you that I need to get out in the mail. I joined a swap hosted by Tamika of Scrap the World, and it's a Prima doll tag and charm swap. And what her theme was is let's play with some things we went crazy on buying. And I didn't get a lot of the Prima dolls. I think I got my hands on about 5, and I waited until I found them really inexpensive before purchasing them. But I did get some of the Prima doll stamps and maybe only used one when I first got it and haven't touched them again. I also bought some bottle caps about 2 years ago on eBay and never used those either. And so most of the things that I used to do the Prima doll, the tags, are things that I've had and wasn't using. So Tamika, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to pull out the challenge to pull out and use some of the items that I have laying around and that I always say I'm going to use but haven't used. And so thank you so much. But the next thing I want to say is majority of my videos, those of you who have subscribed to my channel know that I mostly do mini albums. And so this really was a challenge for me because I'm telling you that I think I pulled out more stuff to use in this tag than I've ever used in creating a mini album. And so I'm going to share with you the things that I think I pulled out everything to use. But the first hesitancy was the Prima doll and having to fussy cut her out. And so what I did is I have a Cricut, but I hear a lot of you guys with the silhouette. And my son happens to have a silhouette. So I did some research on how to use it and borrowed his silhouette in order to be able to cut out my Prima dolls. And so let me get started with what I did. This is the Prima doll that I used for my tag. The base of the Prima doll, I think we all have these chipboard packs that we got from Joann's. And I usually use the chipboard part of it, the naked chipboard, but I don't think I've used any of the whites and the black sheets that come in this pack. And so what I used was the black sheet, and I doubled it to make the base of my tag. I used this stack I got from, I think, Big Lots. It's called True Love. And I think I used a few sheets out of this stack here. I used black cardstock, a sheet out of this pack, Recollections black cardstock. I used the red. I used a sheet out of, 2 sheets out of this Recollections black and white stack that I have. And what I also did was, I have the bottle caps, never got around to, looking into how you do images and all that, because I hadn't planned on doing anything with the bottle caps just yet. And so with this challenge, I could probably use my 1-inch punch and cut out the images, because I did go and look at some tutorials on that. But what I did was I wanted some images to go along with what the papers that I had chosen, and that I guess the theme that I had chosen. So what I did is I also went on the computer and created my own images. And so here's a sheet of the images that I created. When I first did them, I think these are a little bit too big. The plain ones I can use, but I really have to try to figure out how to use these because I made them just a little bit too big on this sheet. And so then I downsized them, and this is the cutouts that I use. So I created my own images for the tags. The other thing that I used was these flowers. I bought these flowers from Hobby Lobby, and I've used some of those. And I also used a couple from the Recollections black and white flowers as well. So I used that. I used some doilies. I even pulled out my spellbinders and cut out this doily here. I used what I had in my stash was some word sayings here, and so I used these on a couple of my tags as well. Here's the bottle caps. I bought these bottle caps, like I said, probably about 2 years ago, and I got them from someone on eBay. And they're flat. They're already flattened, but I had to use the I used my crocodile to make my holes. I used this bead trim here. I used this trim here, this one here, and I got this from Michael's. I used this spray, which also came from Michael's. I used a couple of these flowers here, white roses here. I used this trim. I used these roses from Michael's as well. And I didn't really like the color, so I changed the color and used some and did some embossing and made the flowers a little darker than what these are and embossed them using this ink pad here and some embossing powder here. These trims I used from my stash, the white. Here's some black. And this is just that trim again that I showed you. So I used some of this. And glossy accents. And I even pulled out some stickles. I am so impressed that I've used quite a bit of what I don't normally use. So thank you again, Tamika, for the challenge. And I'm going to move this out of the way somewhat and show you the tag that I created, one of the tags. So this is my tag. Here. And there are the roses that I, 1, 2, 3, 4 roses that I embossed to make them a little darker. This is the word that I used, and I backed it on some red cardstock. And this one says laugh. And here's the flower, one of the flowers from Hobby Lobby. I want to say, I think Paper Studio, this large flower. And then that's the white doily. And then these are the doilies that I cut out. We're using the spellbinders. And then I embossed them. I didn't like the faint color of the red from the cardstock, so I embossed that. And here's the spray. And the Love Struck paper is where I got this cardstock for her jacket, and plain white cardstock here, and then her dress is where I used the Love Struck pattern paper, and I used some stickles here in her hair. I used my Spectrum Noir marker to color her hair, and then on her shoes here, I colored them in. I embossed these, so I used a embossing pen and then embossed the powder. And then with this flower here, the rose, I used some stickles on that there. Here's the trim on the bottom, and the white trim, and I kind of just layered that there. And so on the reverse side is my charm. Let me bring it up a little closer so you can see it. Well, I did, like I said, I created my own image. This is the back of it with just plain there. And then on the inside, I just used the image of a rose and put that there and glossy accented that. And this is how I'm hanging it here so it can be removed. I don't know what you call that. It's a clasp, I guess, there. And so I don't usually do charms, and so thanks for the opportunity. I did have everything on hand, and so I didn't have to go out to get anything to do it. It's just trying to figure out what it was I was going to do, since I had never done it before. And so on the bottom up close, you can see I have put an angel charm and a dove, and I do have the bead caps and the spacers with these beads here. What I did here is just made a little pocket to hold my information, and then my partners can, you know, remove that, and they can still use it for whatever they decide to use it. But that's my this is my tag and charm. So I hope you guys like it. Please let me know what you think, and let me know if you think I should continue making these. I did have a lot of fun, even though, I mean, it's like, wow, I'm looking at all this stuff that I pulled out. And I even cleaned up my room somewhat and bought things a little closer, reorganized, so that I can get to my products and use them more. So this was the first one. We had to create 4 if you wanted one for yourself. And there were 3 to a group. So, and they're all exactly the same. Well, except for the wording here. And I did decide that I was going to keep one for me. But this is my swap, and I will be getting them in the mail tomorrow, so that Tamika can get them all on time. And I'll be packaging them up and including some goodies for my partners. So guys, thank you so much. Leave comments. Let me know what you guys think. This is so outside of my box. But I had a lot of fun. And thank you so much. I look forward to doing more swaps and more challenges this year in 2014. So that I can take some time to learn some more new techniques. So thank you guys again so much. Thank you to my subscribers. I ask you please to like the video, to comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I wish you all blessings and peace. And until next time, God bless you guys. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.